So, this is about the time, the present. They are here, we want to open their mind. There are good consequences later for any sacrifice they are doing. Another problem that is very common is individualism. So they think they are by themselves. Nobody can understand them, nobody can help them. If they don't fix the situation, no one is able to do that for them. Let's say I tell you now, I cannot go to Kansas City tomorrow because my car is broken. That's all. Okay, open the mind is, can you go with another thing? Can you ask a car to somebody? Can you ask if somebody is going there? So are there other people around you? Maybe they are, you didn't think. So open the mind, you are not by yourself. You can ask people, let them know about your need, and things will come. That's how providence works. We say we live on divine providence, but it doesn't happen like anybody knows anything and suddenly something happens. I mean, people know what we need, and people know what you need and what the student need now. They can need a ride, they can need food for today, and it is there. Other people can help you. And of course, this not by being by ourselves is also in the direction of God. So sometimes we think nobody can understand me, nobody can help me, but we forget we have a relationship with somebody who really understands us, and He is in us in the Eucharist. So you are not by yourself, you are not just you. So remember that you are not just you, there is God with you, and if we believe what we are studying in the classes, what we are listening to Mass, He is the God who can have an impact on the history. He's not just a God of truth, He's a God of history. So as He did for the Israelites, as He did for the apostles, He will do for us something. So we want them to think that they are not by themselves, there are people and there is God, and this communion is the communion of saints here and there. So open the mind, because they forget about the blue stuff, because they are focused on the red ones. Very quickly, just some red flags. You can notice when people are speaking, if they are maybe forgetting a part of the reality. Usually we don't realize we forget parts, but there are some red flags that can tell us. When people say in a verb something they cannot do, like, I can't do this, I am not able to do that, we need to ask what? That's the question, the right question to ask, like, I cannot succeed. What can't you do? Oh, I cannot have this grade. Okay, why you can't? So it's about letting them know that that sentence is so open, but maybe there's only one thing they cannot do. And maybe if they fix that one, they can do the thing. So to help them to see that there are more resources than what they think. Another red flag is comparison. When you hear a comparison without the second term, like, she is the best, I am stronger, I am less happy. Well, you need the second one. So, she is better than who? I am happier than when? Or I am weaker than who? Maybe I am weaker than the champion of basketball, but maybe I am very strong. So we need to follow the comparison with the second term. Or, my sister is the best. What does it mean? Maybe she is the best in cooking, but that doesn't mean she is the best, because maybe you are the best in playing soccer. So you can see that you need the comparison and to see who is better and in what. Because people can be very frustrated with this comparison, and they think, you are the last one. What does it mean? You are the last one in what? Maybe you are the smallest, but maybe you are the smarter. The more smart, the most smart. Okay, so comparison can be tricky. We need the second term. And then there are sentences like, when they think something is necessary. We must go there, we cannot do this, we cannot say this. It is impossible to go there. Okay, question after sentences like that, because that's giving them the idea they cannot do things. Question after that is, who said it? I mean, it is impossible to go to Kansas City. Where does this sentence come from? From God? Okay, maybe it's true. From my friend? Maybe this is his opinion. Who said that? We cannot talk with people about God. We cannot. Who told you this? Where is it from? Oh, my teacher told me this. Okay, your teacher told you this, but this is not the absolute truth. So think where all this you must, you can't, it is impossible, it is necessary is from. It's from God or from some natural law? Okay, that's true. It's from an opinion of another person? Maybe it's not so true for you, so you can choose in another way. Or if they say, I cannot live today. Well, what happens if you do? Because they feel trapped. So the question is, what happens if you do? Well, there is nobody to turn on the heat or something. Maybe somebody can come in your house and do it. I mean, there is a way out, but if you don't think that there is another way, you stay there. And then sometimes they assume something implicit. Let's say they say, they told me I need to pray, but I'd rather do something less boring. What do they imply in their sentence? They imply the prayer is boring, and then there is something less boring. So we want to see what they know about it to define it boring. Maybe they have in mind something that they don't like, but there are other ways to do the same thing. So what do they imply with their sentence? We can go there. And then when there is a but in the sentence, sometimes there is a false cause behind it, like I would like to go on campus, but I need to cook. Okay, I would like to pray, but there is not a quiet place in my dorm. Okay, you are saying that if there is a quiet place, you would pray. They need to develop this, so you ask them, if there was a quiet place, would you pray? So you see the truth about it, because maybe they wouldn't anyway. Or if you didn't have to cook, would you go? Well, maybe I don't really want to go, so it's not because I have to cook. So you see the cause that you have in your mind, but it's not true. Or maybe it's true, so that you can be free, because you can fix the situation asking for help or something. And then sometimes we read thoughts of people. So we say, I know what makes her happy. Did you ask her? Maybe it's not true. Or I know that my mom will be disappointed if I do this. Did you ask her, or is something you think you can read her mind? Did you ask her before? Do you have an experience about that? Can she change? So those are the right questions you can ask to break this impasse. And then the last one is about generalizations. So whenever people say everybody, anybody, always, never, all the time, all the women, all the professors, all the Catholics, okay, we need to bring people to the reality once again. So all the Catholics are funny or boring, I don't know. Okay, who is Catholic that you know who is boring? Oh, my priest. Okay. What did I mean? And my you will start that. Okay. Well, I can tell you, well, come to St. Lawrence and you will see that it's not always like that. My priest is not. So you break the thing and you bring them back. Thank you for your prayers. So you bring them to the situation. People say, women don't like me. Who doesn't like you? Lauren. Oh, okay, Lauren doesn't like you. Maybe women like you, but Lauren doesn't. So Lauren is not all the women of the world. So you bring them to the reality. Or brother never listened to me. You can exaggerate the thing. You mean that all the time you were talking in your house, he never listened to you, never? And usually the answer is, well, one time when I was 3 years old, I told him, that's the always or never. So maybe you can just bring them to the reality, and it's easier, it's much better than what they think. So whenever you see something like that, you stop them and you ask the right questions. Now, you listen, ask the right questions, then you have the right to teach, especially when spiritual direction or spiritual friendship is with people who are still learning. Usually, at the beginning, that part is bigger. Maybe with college students, if they didn't go through classes yet, or if they didn't take all the classes yet, there is a time in which you give kind of catechesis, so you bring them something they don't know yet. So you can teach, you can give formation, and you can give information about faith, or about the gospel, or about sacraments, or whatever. Here in St. Lawrence it's easier in comparison with the other places in which we were, because they have formation already through classes, so that's easier. But in other places they don't have it, so you have the right to teach. And then you have also the right and the duty to ask for a change if they see something wrong in them. So when you challenge them, you see something wrong, you help them to realize it, and so you can guide them to desire to change. You can use the willpower, that can be good, but sometimes that's not enough. So people will not change just through willpower. So what is helpful is to guide them to the decision. So usually you want to tell them what is good in what they are thinking or doing, and to bring them to the consequences that are not good in what they are doing wrong. For example, let's say that a guy comes to you and says, I really love my girlfriend, and for that reason I want to have sex with her. Okay, you can say, it's very good that you love your girlfriend, and if you have sex right now with her, you can destroy the beauty of your future marriage. So you bring what is good, you repeat it, and you guide them to desire what they already desire with the guidance, so that they see the beauty that they already have in their heart, their desire are good, and you lead them to the change. And sometimes they say we shouldn't use the but or though, because they can get frustrated. Like I say, you're very beautiful, but I want to give you something to be more beautiful. You are actually saying you are not beautiful, so maybe people can be can be upset. So maybe you say you are beautiful, and because of this I want you to be even more beautiful, or you are very devout, you are very holy, and because of this I want to teach you another way of praying, so that you encourage them and you don't let them see that they are not right, because maybe they are already doing something good. So
that this whole thing, we just want to make sure that they don't think they're a loser.
Maybe they don't need to think so. Yeah, you are the sons of God. And you give them the guidance.
Always a loser. Maybe there's a loser in one small thing.
Well, if they are, you bring them to their reality. There is a cross now. You are on the cross. And yeah. Well, with God, they won't. I mean, they fail for a while. Yeah. Well, just final thing, you can finish the session with some spiritual homework or assignments, so you can encourage them to change something or to improve something, especially to cry out to God when they are in need. Because with all this process, maybe we show all their wounds to them, they see who they are, it can be painful, and so we need to lead them to cry out, so they know that even if they are right now losers, they can cry out to God and in some ways fix the thing. So you finish with that. Hopefully you will encourage them to do a little bit of evangelization, to share with others what they are receiving, because their spiritual journey is going on, so they are ready to give and list what they received so far. So we want to encourage them. Conclusion, Well, if you have the calendar, you take the next appointment, you assure them about your constant support, you appreciate what they did in the week or whatever, whenever, you tell them that you really hope they can change, they can make it, and then you finish with the prayer and trusting everything to God. Finally, he can go home. You can go home, but you still need to work because you're a spiritual director, you're a spiritual friend, so you bring home with you whatever, because you will be a bridge between God and man and human being. So it doesn't finish there. You bring the person home with you, you pray for the person, you intercede, you want to listen from God what God wants to tell them next time. You try to tell God, talk with God about the person. It's not that you know already everything, so you talk with God about him. And you can intercede, you can offer up your sacrifices during the day, during the week, for a particular intention, for a particular change. And this is obeying what St. Paul recommended us in Galatians 6:2, so that not only when we are there in the conversation, but also later, we can do this, like bear one another's burdens, and so you will fulfill the law of Christ. So you have some question or?